Okay, so good evening, everybody. Super excited tonight. It is Monday, the 20th of August. Can you believe it? Oh my God, like the 8th month of the year. We're like a week and a bit away from going to September. And then watch September. Super exciting months ahead. September, October, November are going to be huge growth for all of your businesses. I 100% believe that and know it. So at the 9 p.m. Zoom after Claire, we're going to give you some exciting things that are going to be happening within our nation. But I'm so honored and excited to welcome the incredible Claire Edwards. Now, it was Amy who spoke about Claire on her 8 p.m. Zoom call one evening. And it was like, do you think Claire would mind coming on as a guest and sharing with us her expertise and how she's growing her amazing business? So as you can see, I love that picture. That's a real hedgehog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you not get prickled by it?
Oh, I'm used to it by now. But yeah, they relax, so it's not as sharp as it looks.
And is it your hedgehog?
Yeah.
And you have more than one?
Oh no, I've just got one at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing.
So they come and go. I just help a rescue as well. So one went yesterday.
Oh, big heart there. We love you more for that because we're all about animal-free cruelty, products that we use obviously with Arbonne on our skin and in our bodies. So with no further ado, I'm going to hand it over to you, Claire. I'm going to mute myself and can't wait to hear your training. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'm just going to try get my screen back to share mode, if I can remember how to do screen. Okay, I need to do that thing again. Oh no. Okay. So let's have a look. Sorry guys, just share content, screen. Come on. Okay. I'm just going to switch back to see if you guys can see. So I'm showing my presentation. I just need to see someone on the screen so that I know it's working. So if I go back here, did you see my presentation? Was it? No? Okay. See, I don't know if you guys are seeing that.
Yeah, we are. We can see it.
Okay. So,
Claire, you're on.
Okay, great. I couldn't see if you could see that. Okay. Okay.
We can see your screen, but you're not on your presentation slideshow, if that makes sense. So we can see, yeah, there we go. You're on it now.
Okay, fine. Okay, so I've done like a little presentation. I can send it to you if you want to email it out afterwards, but don't have to, it's not too in depth. So just to kind of start, I'm not an Instagram expert. This is really just what I've learned and what I've kind of applied. So long story short, I got made redundant from my normal corporate life, kind of normal job. at the end of February, and I've had this little business as like my side gig for about 2 years now. So now that I had all this time on my hands, I decided to take a month off and just give it a go and see what happens. I think it's now been 5 months since I got made redundant, and I'm still kind of going. But what happened at that time was I started on the 1st of March with an Instagram challenge, which I'll come to later in the slides. And that's what's actually kind of kicked this off, and I actually saw the potential with Instagram. So anyway, so this is kind of all like a crash course of what I've learned and kind of been put together and stuff. So first of all, I'm not going to be selling you anything. So I know there's lots of webinars, and at the end they do the big sell. I'm not that. And we're all at different levels. So if I'm waffling or covering basics, just let me say move on, and I'll carry on. So hopefully we'll have some time at the end. I don't know, I haven't really timed this, so maybe there'll be time at the end if you have any questions. But if not, feel free to DM me via Instagram, then I can answer or help answer for you. That's no problem. I've got to warn you, there are going to be a lot of hedgehog pictures. I'm sorry, there's going to be lots. You're going to think I'm a crazy woman. And I have prepped slides and try to put out all my thoughts and what I've learned and stuff, but they might be a bit mixed up. So I'm kind of just winging it and hoping I remember it as I put it in, because there's been lots of late nights putting stuff to the PowerPoint. So I'm kind of like getting it all together. Okay, so it's not changing. The slide's not moving. Oh, what's going on? My slide won't move. I'm tapping. I spoke too soon about IT problems. Can you guys still see?
We can see your first slide just now saying my Instagram downloaded.
Yeah. For some reason it's not. It's just not. I'm trying to get to the next slide, but it's not letting me. Deep breaths and get rid of a few things maybe. All right, let's try again. Sorry, can you hear all my tapping?
We can hear you clicking. Don't panic, Claire. Don't worry about it.
I don't know if it's. I'm just not getting to the damn slide. Oh. Oh, come on. It's just that. Oh, there we go. Hang on, let's try that. Okay, so this is just a snapshot of my Instagram feed. So the one on the left was what I used to post. So I really just used to post anything and everything. You can see there's 2 pictures the same next to each other. I've been doing stuff on dock surfaces, and one collage, you can't even see what's going on there at the bottom. There's just so much going on. So my kind of attitude to Instagram was just post stuff and be done with it. So I never gave any real thought to it. And then on the right is kind of what the feed I have now. I've kind of chosen a few colors. It's a bit hard because also I share content from other customers, so it depends how they take their photos, but it's a bit more cleaner, and it kind of will go through what I kind of post about. So it's just so kind of just to put my stuff in context. So I kind of make handmade bedding for hedgehogs, African pygmy hedgehogs, which are pets, and guinea pigs as well. So you'll see that kind of throughout the feed. And basically when I started in like February, March, I had about under 300 followers. And right now, as of today, I'm now at 859. So in the space of 4 or 5 months, I've over doubled what I was sitting on. And these are just these are actual followers. I've not paid for anything. I've not gone and used one of these bots to just share and like and get me followers. So these are just actual my content. And so I'm actually speaking to an authentic audience. They're following me. Hopefully by the end of next month or so, I'll hit 1,000, and then I'll be onwards and upwards from there. Okay. I think because it's recording, it's not letting me get to my slides easy enough. Damn it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so just a few basics. So for your profiles, hopefully, I don't know, I haven't seen any of your profiles, but most of them, or all of them, should be switched to public, because obviously if you going posting in that, only your followers would see you if it's private. So make sure your profile is public. And I'll change over to a business account so that you can get hold of analytics and a few more extra features which public or individual accounts don't have access to. So definitely make those two changes and you'll start seeing some changes. And the other thing is track your progress. So like on the 1st of every month, I sit and I just make a note of how many followers I've got, except which were my best photos, where my engagement was in that, because you'll get that from your analytics. And you can track and see what worked and what didn't work. Because then that way, like, you'll forget what you were on the month before. So just grab a piece of paper and jot that down. Okay, so first thing is have a killer bio. So one thing's first is your username should be memorable. If you are, I don't know, Claire15732, it's not going to be very memorable. People aren't going to be looking for that. Also, if you meet people when you're out and about, and you say, oh, follow me on Instagram, what's your handle? Oh, it's Claire13732, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm not going to find you. They're not going to remember you. So make sure you've kind of got a memorable name, a username. If you really set up and it is a bit more complicated, you can actually go change it in your settings, so you don't have to start all over again. To the right, you can see there's two profiles, one for Jay Shetty and one for Jenna Kutcher. So these are two people that I follow, and you can see straight away from their profiles that you can see straight away what they're about. Jay Shetty, I like his one a bit better. So he's used his emojis, he's told what does he do, where you can find him, what he's achieved, and he's told you to go subscribe to his YouTube channel to follow him. So from there, people are going to be reading and making their decisions whether to follow you or not. Is it worthwhile that I want to follow this guy? You only have 150 characters, so there's not a lot of time, not a lot of space to put in. So use emojis, go for it. Keep it to the point. Long kind of sentences people aren't really going to read. They're just going to like skim read. So that's skim reading. You're putting it for them. Because this is basically your bios. They're going to decide whether they want to follow you or not. This is their decision as to whether they're going to follow you from this little story, that input that you give. So make it memorable. They're going to remember you thereafter. And put a call to action in. So CTA, a call to action. So for example, he's put subscribe on YouTube. So he's trying to push you to YouTube to follow his videos there. So those kind of things, is if you can fit it in. Now, if you just type straight into Instagram, it's not going to work, and you can't enter and set it out nicely like this. What you have to do is you have to go to your notes on your smartphone, type it in. So put your emoji, put just your blurb, enter, and then make it all how you want it to look. Copy it from your notes and paste it into your Instagram profile. It's a quick, cheap way how to do that. Then, oh, sorry, the one thing I wanted to say is with your follow is precious. So make sure you're following accounts so that it kind of looks a bit bad if you like following 3,000 accounts and you've got 300 followers, because it just kind of looks like you've gone on a big like spree just to kind of gain followers. But so be precious, be selective with your likes. Also, just sorry, I've skipped the screen, but with the bio it's important to have that kind of quick overall, I want to follow this person, yes or no, bio, is because your followers will read it once and they probably won't come back to it. This is the chance to hook them in. So they very rarely will go, oh, let me go read her bio, see what she's about again, because that's what's making them decide whether to follow you or not. So is it stuff they're interested in, yes or no, and then they're going to follow you. So with your main feed, so we're kind of talking about, the main grid feed that's going on. I've got a couple examples here to the right, is to kind of have a certain theme to your feed. So you kind of have to choose an aesthetic, how you want things to look. So kind of to the right, there's one by Joanne Hawker. She's an illustrationist. I'll talk about it a little bit later as well. She's a very lovely girl. She uses a lot of yellow and very muted tones. Then Shauna Jerry Miller, she's a lady in America that I follow, and she designs one of the fabrics that I use, and she's very pastels and pinks. But at the bottom, just under her, you can see there's a profile. I didn't actually put the who it was, but what I wanted to show you here is to make sure, if you're going to do, when you do your feed, is make sure your photos fit. Because if you have a look from the second to the bottom and the second to bottom, they've tried to do a 3-lined image over like a message over 3 images, but it's out of whack. So their takeover, Love UK Handmade, has now been messed up on their feed. So it looks great when you get it right, but you need to make sure you get it right. So like right now, that's not looking great. And then there's another feed by another illustrator, Katie Abbey. She's quite fun and quirky, and she uses every color in the rainbow. So she has an awesome feed, very colorful. So you can kind of go with like Shauna's feed, where it's pastel pinks and muted colors, or nice, bright, funky with everything, and like Katie Abbey. So she probably has a much easier feed because most of it goes. So she's just got that kind of palette to work with. So with your aesthetic, is you don't have to limit yourself to just one element. So kind of have at least 3 in your bag. So like for myself, I don't just post about my products. So I'm not just, and people don't want to follow that. So I kind of have 3 aesthetics. So I have my products, so the Hog House. I have Bob Bob's is my hedgehog, so Bob Bob's. I have him, so he's kind of got his own little character going on my profile. And then also I back it up with small business. So I'm, support small business, support handmade kind of thing. So kind of having 3 aspects in your, or elements to choose from, with a common aesthetic. So you could have, obviously like natural beauty products, healthy living, great food, organic food, your garden that you're growing outside, the chickens that you keep, you can tie it all in. As long as it kind of weaves through, the aesthetic weaves through everything. And then it fits in with the vibe of your account, and you can pretty much then post anything if you've got those 3 elements like weaving together. Use similar filters and try keep your feed consistent, is one of the things that I've learned. Filters not as in like totally changing the look of it so that it's not even what I am selling, just using certain colors, certain tones, have a play around, and yeah, use a mixture of selfies, your product quotes, if you're going to do quotes, mix it all up so that they're getting a bit of everything. Because if they see a plate of food, and then they see one beauty product, and then they see all the animals in the garden, try mix it up like a salad, basically. So they're getting a bit of everything at the same time. And yeah, so just kind of the other thing is only post photos that fit. We will come to Instagram stories later, where you can put your non-fitting photos. So say I want to share something, but it's not a great photo that's going to fit my feed. The feed is always going to be there. People can always come back and look at it like a directory. So only post what you want to keep there in front of everyone, the public. Other stuff that's like not so pretty or not so with your feed, but you'd want to like talk about it or share it, stick it in your stories, because it'll be available for 24 hours and then it'll be gone. And you can always just do it later as well. So one of the things is post perfect pictures. So obviously Instagram is very visual. Your pictures need to draw the person in. This is obviously quite basic stuff, so I'll just go quickly over it. So you don't have to have fancy equipment. All of my photos are taken on my iPhone. I started out taking photos on my DSLR and then downloading them and then trying to get them onto my iCloud so I can get them onto my Instagram. They're rubbish, absolutely rubbish. I just use my iPhone for everything. One thing is super important. As long as I've owned an iPhone, I've known really how to use half of it. So swat up on what your phone can do for you, because I've learned so many things on what features and how to change pictures and do things like that on my phone. Use the grid lines on your phone. Again, have had iPhones for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now, never turned them on. I've now turned them on so that when I'm lining up my shots, I make sure everything's all lined up and you don't have to spend time kind of adjusting it. There's also kind of a rule of thirds. I kind of use this sparingly. I mean, this isn't gospel. This is just kind of what I've learned along the way. So is kind of your focus of your picture should be in a third of the photo. The kind of theory is that it will draw people's line in because it's not full frontal and center and super zoomed. So they then have to come and look and go, oh, that's what's in the picture, and actually pay attention. Whereas if you just see a big, huge hedgehog face, that's it, and you move on. Whereas if you like see it a bit further in the picture, they'll kind of stop and have a look and pay attention. And yeah, kind of play around and discover an editing style. It's not going to be, your photos aren't going to be perfect from the get-go. Mine definitely weren't. They were taken on my kitchen counters. So find your editing style, see what fits, what you like, what you don't like, kind of thing. Okay. So one of the things is to identify your niche. So when kind of posting is just screaming and trying to get it out there. I mean, this is what I used to do. It's just like post, post, post. I'm not really paying attention of who's reading it. And screaming to get attention is not really going to get you the followers. But you need to talk directly to them. Talk to them how you would want to be talked to, and your ideal follower will follow. When kind of like there's these things out there for doing like for like, but I've never done them, and I've seen it being done, and it's not going to get you the audience that you want. It's not going to, you're going to maybe gain followers, but they're not going to do anything for you. It'll boost your numbers on your followers, but they're probably not going to like your photos. They're going to disappear. They're not going to buy from you. They're not going to do anything like that. For example, I had posted a picture, I don't know, maybe about 2 months ago. This lady commented on my photo. I saw about 20 minutes after she posted it. And it was actually another lady in America that did something similar to me, but her products are, sorry to say, not as great. And so she commented on my photo saying, check out my Etsy store for great hedgehog products. And so obviously she was trying to get my followers to follow her and buy from her. So I didn't do anything and I deleted it. So when I looked at her profile, she had just under 1,000 followers. 2 days later, she did the same thing to me. So obviously I went and looked again and deleted her comment. Then I was like, okay, do I message her and tell her off? Or maybe she doesn't realize that I'm a business. Then I clicked on her profile again, and she had almost 2,000 followers. So within 2-3 days, whatever it was, she'd gained or doubled her followers. I was like, that's insane. How is she doing this? And I kind of forgot about her, and I couple of days later, I went back and I found her, and she was up to 3,000 followers. So she's obviously using a bot to gain followers. Then I went and looked at her followers, and they were all just spam, all rubbish. So yes, at first look, she's going to look great because she had only posted 15 photos and she had 3,000 followers, which is ridiculous. You know straight away when you see an account that that's all bought. So her reputation with me was just, well, obviously after she commented was rubbish, but looking at her account where she posted 15 photos and she's got 3,000 followers, that's just bought right there. But those people aren't going to be buying. I can go look at her shop and see whether her stuff's selling or not, but it's not going to get the audience you want. Anyway, I digress. So the next kind of thing is creating content, as if you're speaking to your audience. So you can have a look at your analytics and you'll find out who your audience is. So like with mine, it's mainly women, UK and the US, and between the ages of 25 to 35 are my main audience. So I've had to learn to speak emoji in some cases, which has been fun. And once you've got the business account, you've got these analytics. So the analytics shows you these elements, so impressions, your reach, home, hashtag, profile, and other. So your impressions are how many times your content was delivered onto their feed. It doesn't mean that someone's liked it or commented or saved it or done anything. It's just how many times it's appeared on someone's screen. Your reach is the total number of people who saw the content. Your home is how many people found it from your home feed. So they were following you. Hashtags, so obviously you can now follow hashtags on Instagram. So people who follow certain hashtags will now get notified that this picture was posted there. And spelling mistake. And your profile, so if they found it from your profile. Now, as of lately, my other has always just been minimal. I've never really paid attention to it until I started posting video content. And now my eyes have opened. So other is all other traffic that's not included in any of the above. So traffic is from shares via direct message, save posts, convos, posts that show up in the following tab, notifications, and all that. So I posted some videos recently because I've been really slack with my video content. I've been focusing mainly on pictures. And that's where the impressions lie. Video content is key. My, one video went over 1,000. I couldn't believe it. So I'd obviously appeared in the main feed and people were seeing it. It was just unbelievable. So I kind of use a system called Checked. So if you kind of use these 5 things, you'll create a great system and a constant system. So content, so having good quality photos, eye-catching, great design. Hashtags, so we'll come on to this later, but strategic hashtags. So they need to be researched, they need to be relevant. I mean, when I started, I was just putting hedgehog, fleece house, blah, 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 like 5 hashtags. I wasn't even looking into what ones we're using. And then engaging. So then you need to be engaging with your current followers, so whoever's following you, and future followers, so liking and commenting on theirs. I'll come on to that again. Captions, so obviously in the captions of the picture, I mean, a lot of people just look at pictures and like and move on, but people do read because they want to know what it's about. So give value, tell stories, and ask questions. So like one of my posts about one of my products that I made was the one problem I had when I used to keep my hedgehogs in cages, and the one hedgehog kept climbing the bars and it was just a nightmare. So I kind of made these bumpers to go around the side, but I told the whole story of how it got made, and I just got like comments and questions, and it's like, that's a great idea, I'm going to put in my shopping cart the next time. So give a little like a story about that. And tagging, so when you can posting something, use a location tag, because you'll come up in that area, because people will follow like, oh, what's happening in okay, London's maybe a bit huge, but in a certain area, and you can actually see and follow and see what content's happening in that area. And any other relevant accounts or products. So if you're doing a post about an Avon product, obviously tag the main Avon page, tag, the relevant, or if you're doing when you're doing your Avon events, and, share and tag each other, it all helps with the algorithm. Oh, I'm sitting in the dark now, the lights have gone. So I've made like little videos, new toy, figured out how to record on my screen. So I'll click and I'll talk. Oh gosh, they better play. That's all I'm saying. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is the analytics. So once you've converted to a business account and been posting on the business account, you'll then gain access to analytics. You need to be posting probably, I think, for about at least a week or two. So you can see when people are active, what content is good. Oh, there we go. I had 2,121. Cheapers. When was that? You can see I was in the low, 600 range, and then I kind of went up and up with my content. You can filter it. So if you want to look at only photos or videos, have a look at that. Or and then you can look whether you want to look at impressions, at likes, how many website clicks got off that photo. So you can really dig down into it to see what actions were taken and what you want to see. And then you can apply it into all those kind of date ranges. So there's actually quite a good span of months, or time frame rather. So you kind of just do like a little spreadsheet. So I can see that was my most popular. There's my Bobs. That was my most popular post, and I can have a see. So what did I do there? I need to be doing more posts like that. Now I'm looking at what posts were saved. So this means how many people saved or bookmarked those posts. So what was I doing in those posts to make those people bookmark them? What hashtags was I using? What types of photos were I taking? What content was I posting? So what worked, what didn't work? Do that again if it works. And these are the posts that I got the most followers on. So what hashtags was I using? What happened from there? And these were comments. So I might kind of talk a bit out of sync with the video, but I was trying to make sure I had enough time to scroll through it all. But yeah, so basically you can dig down. And I mean, I don't go into analytics too often. I'm going to say once, maybe every 2 weeks, but just going back and having a look. There's your stories analytics as well. So these are the pictures that I've posted on my stories. I can see what worked, what didn't work. Stories only last for 24 hours. And your analytics will be kept for 14 days. So it's probably more important to go and look at your stories to see if you want to gain from those kind of analytics. Okay, there we go. I posted. I know Halloween, guys. I know, but I sell to America, so I started posting on my stories because I didn't want to start cluttering my feed yet, because obviously it's a bit too early for Halloween. So I kind of got it on my stories, and I've already sold quite a few of the stuff. So yeah, what was I looking at? Oh, impressions. So which ones had the most impressions? So stories does disappear though, guys. So have a look at that after you do stories. On the next time you see your audience, you'll see bars, and now you'll see percentages came. So I tapped the bars to get the percentages. So you can have a look at your countries, your cities, your average age, men, women, all, you name it. So you just kind of play around there. Most of mine are women. Yay. And so I can see who I'm kind of talking to and what's that. Down at the bottom is fun. You can see when and what days people are most active. So because I have a UK and a US audience, it's a bit mixed and tends to be towards the end of the day. So I only tend to post my stuff in the afternoon. So from about 12:30 is probably the earliest I'll post, up to, yeah, and I haven't really ventured too late into the 6-9 o'clock kind of time. And then on the weekends it's a bit different, because I try to get the UK audience, because we're in the morning and we hungover lying in bed. So looking at that. Okay, so that was the end of my little video. So that's going and looking. So have a play around with your analytics. It's all there. So I think this is the next slide. So yeah, so this is my stories. So this is when I told everyone that I was I'd finished making all my Halloween bits. So I didn't want to put it on my main feed because it's like if we start talking about Christmas now, people are not interested. So what I did, sorry, I just have a sip. What I did was I put it on my stories because it's going to be there for 24 hours and then it's going to disappear. So I just kind of got it out. So any of my followers thinking, because of America, they need to be ordering in time for Christmas. So you guys are going to have that too. Christmas time coming, silly season coming up. They need to get their orders in to allow for postage. You know, everyone leaves it late. So yeah. So this is me just going back to the funds. So at the bottom, you can see who it's seen by, and you click on it, and then you get your analytics. So here I can see who watched all of it, who went to the next story, who exited, who went back to start again, which accounts saw it. So I can go and click on these accounts and see if they're following me. If they're not following me, I can then go look at their content and see, oh, I like your hedgehog, or I like your guinea pig. So then I pop up on their radar because I know they've seen me. Now I'm letting them know I've seen them. So I'm now going to go on and click and go, hey, Ginger, and go and like, this lady actually bought from me. They go and like her photos. So even if you're doing it 2-3 days later, it's reinforcement that they've been seen. So now I'm just going and having a look, and Hedgehog with a blog has seen me. I'm now going and saying hi and looking at Hedgehog with a blog. And you can sit and carry on doing this. To be honest, I either do this when I'm lying in bed going to go fall asleep. Okay, that was a private account, so you can't see that one. Or when I'm sitting watching EastEnders, I multitask. So yeah, so that's basically that. On their feed, it will pop up that the Hog House liked their photo, and then they'll remember me going, oh yeah, that's that cute hedgehog I saw, and maybe she'll come follow me. Quite often when I sit and do my 15 minutes of engagement in the morning, I wake up to a minimum of at least 4 or 5 likes. So if you kind of, I will get onto a bit more of the engagement now, but this is the start of it. So I know they've seen me. I'm now going to go and give them a like, and I'm not following them. I'm just liking their content. Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, you can click on all your photos. You can see what's all the analytics for each, what worked, what didn't work, etc., etc. Oh, sugar. Ah, damn it. Sorry, guys. I need to go back. I've messed this up. Okay. Back to the hashtag. Okay, so with hashtags, you've got 30 hashtags per post. If you post more, Instagram algorithm sees you as a spam. So use all 30. You can use all 30. Some people say that's even spammy, but using 5 isn't going to really cut it. I use all 30 most of the times, or at least between 20 to 30, because that's 20 to 30 chances of being seen. You can put this in your body of your caption, or you can group it in a group at the bottom at the end, or you post your content and then you go back on your post and stick it all in your first comment and hide it there. There's no great reason, rhyme or reason. It's however you want to use it. What I do is I do my content, I enter and put a few spaces, and then I put them all bunched at the down at the end. Do your hashtag research. So this is important. Things changed for me once I did this. So is using community hashtags rather than generic. So for example, Hedgehogs of Instagram gets 5.2 million likes. I'm never going to be seen. I'm going to get buried so fast there. But Hedgehog Obsessed has only got 200,000 followers or posts, I'm going to get seen more there. So just sit and look at what people are using, people you are following are using, your competitors are using, or people on an Instagram account you aspire to be like, what are they using? There's a website there called allhashtag.com, which is basically a website generator. So you can go in and you can type in like, okay, hedgehog or healthy living or, you know, whatever kind of hashtag you're thinking about. And it will generate 30 hashtags for you. And it's up to you to go and research them. When you type that hashtag into the Instagram, it tells you how many people are using it or how many posts have been used. So use and select them. I use a mixture of everything. Yes, I use some that are over 1 million, but I have to because I'm about hedgehogs. So kind of the idea is to use a mixture of hashtag sizes. So kind of use 10 between the 400,000 and 1 million kind of mark, and then another 10 between the 100 to 400 and another with the lower ones. You'll be seen more with the lower ranked ones than you will with the higher ranked ones until you become that big player in the community. So yeah, once I literally sat one down one day and I did research for like an hour and it changed my game. One thing that I wasn't familiar with or knew about was something called a shadow ban, where Instagram can actually block you out. So your hashtags become undiscoverable. So they'll be discoverable to your followers, but not to any new followers. So just be careful of this. So what happens is Instagram will kind of put like a warning on you and block you out. So this happens when you're using automated services. They recognize whether you, like if you pay a bot to get you likes, it'll recognize that you're always on a UK domain IP address, and then all of a sudden you're now in Chicago. It'll recognize that and you're now gaining likes for Africa there. If you're using the same hashtags for post over post over post, it becomes spam, and then they start to block you then. So you have to actually use different hashtags. If you get surges of activities, so if you're just doing constantly, just going like, it'll all ban you. And also broken hashtags, if you're using broken hashtags. So a broken hashtag is, restricted 18. So that Instagram are cracking down with content hidden inside a hashtag. So like a swear word or adult content word is hidden inside a longer word. They're cutting down on that. So one important thing is create a schedule. So actually create a plan for your content. This has been a game changer for me. So what happened was I got made redundant on the 28th of February, and on the 1st of March, March Meet the Maker started. And March Meet the Maker is an Instagram challenge for handmade businesses all over the world, but it's run by that lady who I just mentioned earlier, Joanne Hawker. She lives in Taunton in Somerset, and she's created this phenomenal campaign, and it's all over the world in the handmade community. And basically I've put the link there, so if you want to go check it out, is she made a calendar for the month of March of what we had to talk about. And it put me totally outside of my comfort zone. I never used to post daily, because if I posted, I got orders. So what I used to do is I used to wait till Thursday or Friday. I would post orders, then I'd sit all weekend making orders. So this made me post every day, and my followers just grew within that month. And I posted stuff that I learned new tricks and things about Instagram. My content changed, my look changed. This is when my look changed. And I posted content that I never did before. So one of the things is obviously March Meet the Maker. You get to meet the person behind the scenes. So I'd never posted behind the scenes photos. I'd never posted a picture of me. So for 2 years, I'd never ever posted a picture of me. I posted a picture of me, I think it was the first day, it was day one. And that became my most popular post. And I was like, oh my God, people actually want to see who it is. So yeah, so there's like a calendar of prompts. And just with scheduling is you can save time by automating some of your posts. So my new best friend is a program called Later. Later is a scheduler for Instagram. Guess what? It's free. I love to talk about the free stuff, and I love to take all the free stuff. So later there's a basic platform, which I'm on, which is free. And then you can pay, I think, $9 a month, and you go on to the next platform. And then as you get bigger and more facilities, you go up high and pay higher. So basically, you can schedule the whole of your Instagram feed. So like basically on a Friday, I sit for 45 minutes and I schedule all my posts I try to do the next 2 weeks to see what content I want to put out when and where. I can go through it and show it to you, but I'm just conscious I'm waffling and not taking up too much time. So I'll try to loop back to that. So obviously you need to build your tribe. So you need to reach out and make connections, connect with people that you're similar with, or you work with collaborations, engage by liking and commenting the posts. One thing that I learned is do not post when you don't have time to stay on Instagram, because what happens is I post and then I kind of make sure I'm available I don't like rush out the door and I've got to go do something or walk into a movie. I make sure I'm online for at least 15 minutes afterwards, because whoever's going to bother to post or comment on my post, I need to reply straight away so they know that I'm here. So that's a great kind of thing to be able to do that straight away and like and engage with them. So this is a video. I'm just going to try play it and I'm going to talk. So this is me going to an account that I saved earlier. It's for a hedgehog breeder in the UK. And obviously that's going to be a great lead for me, because people who have bought from her, pets from her, are going to be my audience, or people who are following her are going to be my audience. So I'm going to go have a look at who they are, and I'm going to go like their first picture. So what I'm doing is, I know that's going to be my kind of audience for all those reasons, is I'm just going and having a look at their pictures and liking their pictures. I'm just kind of when I'm kind of looking is I kind of only go to like the last 3 pictures. If it was posted within the last couple of hours, or say 2 to 3 days, I'll like it. If it was posted in May, I know they're not regular, they're not going to be on Instagram, they're not going to be my clients. So I kind of just going and looking how old it is, give it a little like, and off we go. So likewise also is commenting on photos. So if they've kind of made a caption and posted, it comes a bit later down the line, say then one person had written something and they wrote something. So I don't have to necessarily follow them. I just kind of like posted saying, oh yeah, really cute, love the coloring of the hedgehog kind of thing. So it's just, you're going to pop up on their feed as a notification. So yeah, I mean, this kind of goes on for a while. So we probably can just kind of miss all of this. So I just spend 15 minutes each day. Another thing to do is regramming. So I use that app at the bottom called Repost. So what you do is you open up your Instagram feed, and I kind of use my saved items to save stuff that I potentially want to regram. So, because I don't remember half the time, so I use my saved items a lot. So I've gone to the picture I wanted to save, I've copied the link, and then I'm going back to my app at the bottom left called Repost, and I'm opening that up. It automatically copies over. You have to, obviously, when you're regramming, credit the people. So you have to make sure you do that. This program puts a little watermark there at the bottom so you can see who the person regramming is. Honestly, if you're going to be regramming someone's pictures, I think it's a good shout out to put their name on the picture and in your caption. So that's a lady that bought the blanket and her little hedgehog. So I'm just kind of creating my post to share that. And especially like if you're regramming your followers' content, they're going to be thankful that you've actually paid attention to them. Oh, just ignore this part because that's shopping tags. So I don't know if it's really applicable for you. But basically, I've got shoppable tags on my Instagram so people can click and go through to buy the product.
Claire,
Yes.
Claire, my lovely, I'm going to have to ask you to wrap up because we've got another call at 9.
Yes.
And I know that I don't even think you're probably halfway through, are you?
I don't even know what slide number that is, but yeah.
This is incredible. Would you be so kind to come back and next Monday, sorry, and finish off this training?
Yeah. Okay.
That is, we really, really appreciate it. I'm learning so much, as I know everybody else is. This is just fantastic. And everybody is like, oh my gosh, this really, you're just explaining it in really short spouts. And I'm such an Instagram phobia. And I feel like I really know what I'm going to be doing now.
Really?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I'm just gonna I know there was there was a question from Ali, just say everyone's saying thank you, it's amazing, so many great tips. And she's just asking about when you said you were going to go over 1,000 followers, how was that going to propel your business forward? Is it a magic number?
It's once you hit kind of hit over 1,000, you kind of it does affect the algorithm. It does affect the algorithm, and you get Instagram pays attention to you a bit more. Once you hit 10,000 followers, Instagram loves you. Basically, once you hit 10,000 followers, it unlocks extra features for you to use links and stuff. So that is a great feature. Well, hopefully I want to hit 10,000 one day, but 1,000 is kind of a great milestone. It's kind of it helps with Instagram, and it also helps with the algorithm, and it also it's public perception, because once you look at accounts, you go, oh, they got over 1,000 followers, they're worthwhile. It gives you more credit.
Yeah. Amazing. Right. Claire, welcome you back next week. Thank you so much from all of us.
Thanks,
Nicholas had a 13-year-old boy, James. I know he's got his own business with clothes, so he's just been absolutely loving that, sucking it up. And again, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry guys, I'll come back next Monday.
Thank you, Claire. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.